Hello, boys and girls. I want to take a few minutes to review abbreviations. Abbreviations are shortened forms of words. You use a period after most abbreviations, and what's important to know is that we use them in writing, but when we speak them, we don't use the abbreviation, we say the whole word. So remember, abbreviations are important when we're writing on our math page, on our language papers, when we're writing a letter, when we're putting an address on an envelope. We want to use abbreviations because it's a way to shorten the word, but you do not speak in abbreviations. So here we have so many abbreviations that you're familiar with. We have different titles, and we have Mr., Mrs., Miss, Doctor, Senior, and Junior. So if you and your dad are named the same for boys, then you are your dad is senior and you are junior. Then, of course, we have the months, which you're familiar with. We have all the months of the year, except some are missing. January, February, March, April, August. And we have May, June, and July are missing because they're already short, so we don't abbreviate them, although some people do. J-U-N for June and J-U-L for July. May, I don't think I've ever seen it abbreviated. We have the days of the week, and some are only 3 letters long, some are 4. Thursday is 5 letters long. Everything else is 3 letters, and of course the period at the end. Streets. I was amazed at how many different street names we have. You can live on a street that is an avenue, a street, a boulevard. We have the highway, a lane, a court, or a road. So this is very important, especially when you're using an envelope to send a letter to somebody. Then we've seen all of these in math. You're very familiar with the ones that we use in math. And I added a few extra that you've seen, but that are good to know. MT is for mountain. INC period is incorporated, and maybe you've seen Monsters Inc., right? That is short for incorporated. EX for example. ETC means etc., which means and so on. So when you're writing something and you want to just keep the list going and going, you can just stop and put etc., which means and so on and so on. Then we have P period O period, which means post office, and GOV for government. And then we've got 2 letters for our states, and there is no period. You just use capital letters, and we have TX for Texas, an example, and NM for New Mexico. So when you write your address, or you say you live in the state of Texas, you can write TX, but you cannot say I live in TX. So you write in abbreviations, but you speak the whole word when you do abbreviations. You don't say, how many, when you're asked how many feet tall you are, you say I am 5 feet tall. You don't say I'm 5 FTs. So that is a big difference when we use abbreviations. There are some interesting things about an abbreviation too that I learned. Did you know that we abbreviate time? I found out what AM and PM stand for, and it's very important that we use them when we write our time, because then we wouldn't know what time to Zoom. For example, we Zoom at 10 a.m. And that's a very different time than 10 p.m. So let's take a look at what this AM and PM stand for. AM stands for antemeridium, and the A for ante and M for meridium, and that means before midday, before the middle of the day, which is noon. So AM means before midday, which is our morning hours, right? Then we have PM, and it stands for P for post, M for meridium, and what that means is after midday, after the middle of the day, which is noontime. So then we have PM. It would look really different if we told you we are going to Zoom at 10 p.m. Most of you are probably already in bed asleep. So I thought that would be interesting for you to know when you are doing, because you do that a lot in math, you have to tell us if it's AM or PM. Now you don't have to know what they mean, but now you have more information in your brain than you had before. So now you know what AM and PM are. They are abbreviations for some words that mean before midday and after midday. So abbreviating our times and putting AM and PM is very important because I sure wouldn't want to Zoom at 10 p.m. with you guys. So I hope you enjoyed your day today. I hope you had a good time to work and you did some excellent work, and we will see you again soon. Love you guys.